Hello guys, my name is Nick, and today I want to show you guys one of my favorite bulking meals. This is my first recipe video on YouTube, and this is one of my favorite meals to make. You can use it for cutting too, but if you're someone who really likes pasta and Italian dishes, this is one of my favorites for a good high carb, high protein meal that has a good amount of fats as well. So if you're trying to even out your macros and not sway too much in one direction, this meal is pretty great because of the amount of meat that you put in for protein. Cheese and protein really weighs out with the carbs that you get in the noodles, and this is absolutely delicious. So just to go ahead and show some of the ingredients, the first one, I use this. It is Ronzoni Healthy Harvest lasagna. These noodles are pretty great. As far as macros go, if you're trying to look for the healthier option, this one's pretty great. You get 40 carbs per noodle and 9 grams of protein. I actually think it's a little bit off. It's kind of weird the way you have to kind of count because they don't count it by noodle, they actually count it by the size of the package. But 5 noodles, I'll show the macros at the end, but you only have to use 5 for the whole dish unless you're using a really big dish, and it ends up weighing out pretty well when we add in the meat. As far as cheeses go, I use 2. Some people don't like spicy cheeses, but it adds a good flavor at the very end. The lasagna, I think it's really good. Everyone should try it. So I use reduced fat Sargento pepper jack. It's really good. And of course we stay true to the roots of lasagna, and we use a low moisture part skim mozzarella cheese. If you want to use whole fat, that's up to you. If you feel like you need a little bit more fat in your diet, or you just prefer that for some reason, go ahead. Feel free to change anything in here if that's really your prerogative. Go for it. Another one I throw in here, some people don't like pepperoni. I love pepperoni, specifically turkey pepperoni. Your average pepperoni has like 1 gram of fat per slice. This has way less. There are 4 grams of fat per 12 slices. So you get 1 gram of fat every 3 slices. So that's pretty awesome. And I'll just throw these in there willy-nilly, and it tastes just like normal pepperoni in case you're kind of cautious. As far as sauces go, I got Trader Joe's organic marinara sauce with the emphasis on no salt added. It has salt in it, of course, but they don't add it in there extra, and that's usually one of the things people are looking for when they're going to make a pasta. They're kind of worried that the sauce will have too much salt in it. You go with something like this, or if you don't have a Trader Joe's, find a place in your area that has maybe like no sugar added, no salt added, something that's a little bit healthier of an alternative, and just go ahead and pick that up, and this is pretty great. And then lastly, we have ground turkey. This is extra lean. If you really want, you can go for the lean one, which is obviously a little bit less lean, and it cooks a little bit differently. It's really up to you. I just use extra lean just so that I can eat more throughout the day and save a couple of calories. A lot of people, if you're kind of worried about how it's going to taste, you can't even tell it's turkey when it's in the lasagna. All this other stuff kind of covers up the flavor of the beef, but if you really want to, you can just get a lean beef. It's going to change the macros kind of significantly, but really it doesn't matter as long as you change the serving or the amount you eat. If you want to have a higher calorically dense food, that's fine with me, but I'm just going to use turkey for now. So let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so here goes part 1. Just going to try to multitask, get both of these at the same time. It takes a long time to do the noodles, so I got this heating up to boiling. Right now it's currently on high. We go for medium for the turkey beef, and we're just going to go ahead and cook these 2 up, so let's go for it. So if anyone was really curious, the amount of turkey beef I'm using is 1.25 pounds, so a pound and a quarter. And the dish I'm using is this big. The size on the dish, if you're really interested, looks like it's 9 by 7 inches with a 2.5 inch depth. This is good enough for 2 servings for me. You could stretch it out to way more if you really wanted to, but for the amount of food I eat a day, I just eat half of the bowl. You might have to change the size of everything. If you have a big, huge dish, you'll probably need more noodles, and I'll show you how to do that later. But for now, this is the size I'm using if you want to be a complete copycat. So, let's go. Alright, so we've got the first part done. We've got our turkey pretty much done. It's okay to have a little bit of pink spots here and there because we're going to be baking in the oven for a significant amount of time. So you don't want it too raw, but you can have like little pieces that have a little bit of pink on them because the time it's going to spend in the oven is going to take care of that. The noodles, you just want them slightly soft. Tearable, at least. You want them soft enough that they're going to tear. I went ahead and strained those, and now we'll measure out we will measure out our other stuff so that we can assemble it all together. I only have one measuring cup, so we're gonna have to do this a little special. If you have two, it would probably be a lot better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure out 1 cup of sauce. Hopefully I have that much in here. And I have exactly 1 cup. That's what I was hoping for. So we're going to take 1 cup of sauce. And this should be enough for the whole dish. You just kind of have to use forward thinking to know if you're using a little too much at the very beginning. So we're going to take this, since I only have 1. I guess we'll go ahead and get a bowl. And we'll pour this out into a bowl. And we will use this bowl for the whole entire dish. Alright. So we clean the cup. The next thing we're going to be doing is measuring out our cheese. Now let me make sure, but I'm pretty sure we used about 3/4 of a cup. But I'll go ahead and check that real quick. Alright, yeah, so I checked, and last time I did it, I used half of a cup and 1/4 of a cup. I think we'll just go ahead and use 1 whole cup this time. Don't need to be too picky. Actually, this measures out in thirds, so we'll go ahead and do 2/3. Which 2/3 ends up being close to 1/4 plus 1/2, I think. So we'll go ahead and do 2/3. It doesn't have to be exact science. Alright, so we have these two, and it's time to begin the assembly. Alright, so the assembly is pretty simple. We just have to follow a pattern. And that pattern is sauce, noodles, sauce, cheese, and meat, noodles, sauce, and meat, and then lastly cheese. That's what we're going to do. If you like pepperoni, you throw that in whenever you want. So let's just go ahead and get started. so now we've got the finished product. We've got the basic lasagna. You can take off the pepperoni if you want, and we put the cheese on top. Now it's ready to go in the oven. You don't have to put it in for too long because everything's already cooked. You just want to put it in for long enough that the cheese on top melts and the cheese in between. So I put mine at 350, and we'll probably keep it in for around 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, so it's come out of the oven, looks great, and I'll just read out the macros for you guys. In total, the whole dish is 1,500 calories, 40 grams of fat, 15 grams of sugar, 191 grams of protein, and 89 grams of carbs. Pretty low on the carbs, heavy on the protein because it's got so much cheese and turkey in it, as well as the pepperoni. I usually cut this into 2 servings. So I just cut the dish straight in half. And if you eat half of it, you get 740 calories, 20 grams of fat, 96 grams of protein, and 44 grams of carbs. So there's a simple dish for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. See you next time.